I have a question. I am a personal coach and therapist, and I've been working as a freelancer for 10 years. Since I started to read and listen to talks about non-duality, I feel I'm not able to do any sessions because I listen to people's problems under the umbrella of non-duality, and I cannot do a session as I used to. The result is that now I have no sessions. Well, it wasn't a question, it's something I wanted to share with you. I think it's a misunderstanding of non-duality, because I do sessions, and a lot of the time in the sessions I speak about non-duality maybe 10 or 20% of the time, and the rest of the time I'm talking about personal problems. So I think that your mind is confused between the healing of the character and non-duality, and there's nothing wrong with talking about the healing of the character. The healing of the character to me is like going to the doctors if you've got a broken bone, or if you've got cancer, or if you've got a bladder infection, and receiving medicine. And that's the same with the character. There's wise ways to live in this world, and there's really stupid, idiotic ways to live in this world. And there's all types of relationship dynamics and all types of feelings. And I think that it's really profound, people getting to know on a deeper level what it is they feel and how it is they interact in life. And most people are really unconscious of that, and getting to know the unconscious. But then seeing that all of that is being experienced, and who you truly are is beyond that. And that's what you're really looking for. So when I work with people, I talk to people about their personal problems, and also how they identify with that and the seeking. And then I also point back to like 10 or 20% of the time that none of that is who you are. But when you're identified with that, then the seeking evolves, and then this belief that you are going to find happiness in future events. And then I look at, why they do certain things and why certain feelings arise. For example, if somebody finds that they're experiencing a lot of anger towards their mother, and they really dislike their mother and they can't bear being around their mother, then what I'll do with them is I'll first of all point out that on the ultimate level, nothing that happens in life is creating your happiness and unhappiness. So your mother behaving in a certain way and your reaction to her isn't what's creating your true unhappiness. That's creating pain in the flow. But what's really creating that unhappiness is the belief that you are that character, and that your feelings are true, and that your mother is taking away freedom from you. So I point back to who you are, and then I'll look at that feeling. So I'll say, where do you experience the anger in your body? This is how I normally do sessions. It changes with everyone, but this is my rhythm. So where do you experience that anger? In what place? Sometimes people can't experience it in their body, and they say, I experience it in my head. So then I'll say, okay, so what type of thoughts do you think towards your mother? And then it might be like, oh, she always puts me down, she makes me feel caged, she's not very nice to me, she's not supportive. And then from that, I'll know, from the thoughts they're expressing, I'll tend to know where they're feeling that, if it be in the heart, because your chakras have particular feelings and thoughts in them. So if it's like a suppressive feeling, then it's maybe the heart or the solar plexus. So then I'll get them to rub that area and get them to talk more about their mum. Normally, I can begin to get people to feel and relate their thoughts to their body. Once they begin to experience the sensation in their body and feel it in the body, then I'll get them to go deeper in it. So is there other relationships you feel this in? Do you feel this in areas of your life? Do you remember feeling this as a child? And then I'll go into what are the deep thoughts in it, and I'll get them to rub it often. And maybe what they come back to is, like, underneath all this anger is this total vulnerability that they want to be loved. It could be all sorts of reasons, but maybe it's that. But I'll slowly get them to get them, their self, to acknowledge what they want is their mother to love them. This is just an example. So I'll step them through, like, I hate her, and get her to speak out all the anger and all the gross stuff and dislike and hurting. And And then eventually they might come to, what I want is my mother to love me. And that's a complete change from this anger, this anger, this blaming, this pushing away. And then I want my mother to love me. And then I'll get them, when they've got to that vulnerability, to imagine the mother loving them and what that feels like, and changing that vibration of that chakra. And that to me is really healing for the body and healing for the chakra. And then at the same time, I'll point out to them that that is appearing in who they are, and that isn't who they are, that doesn't define who they are. And that really all the freedom comes from themselves. Like, it's them that creates all their mental disorder towards their mother, and it's them that can change it. And to me, when they change their vibration to their mother, then the relationship is naturally going to change. When they're hating their mother, they're going to get back hate. But when they begin to love the mother and they see what they want is love from the mother, then the interaction will really change. When you walk in that front door to see your mother, and you're not hating her and pushing her away, but you're in this place of, I want you to love me, that will completely change your energy and completely change your response to her. And I do believe in like attracts like, so more than likely your relationship will begin to grow from that. But it's so seeing this healing the body and not being lost in the idea that freedom comes from the mother behaving a certain way, or freedom comes from not having the blame anymore. Like, just seeing that you can heal the body and you can change the vibration of the body, but that's not your ultimate freedom, because life is unpredictable and crazy and all types of things can arise. Your ultimate freedom is who you are. But when you're totally identified and totally suffering and having lots of contraction in the body, then how can you possibly hear that you're beyond that? You're that which is experiencing that. So to me, the reason that you can't do sessions anymore is because you're not hearing non-duality properly, and you're mixing up, more than likely, the person as being someone that wakes up. Or you're maybe into hardcore non-duality where you're totally rejecting everything about the person. Thank you for your question. That's a nice question.